People in Florida are preparing for Hurricane Milton, sandbagging their properties, packing up to try to evacuate. It's intensifying again as it approaches the Gulf Coast. Milton's now a Category 5 storm, and it's expected to directly hit Tampa Bay and St. Petersburg around 1 o'clock Thursday morning. I'm Lauren Halifax.
And I'm Kevin Barry. 11 counties have mandatory evacuation orders now. Florida gas stations are struggling to keep up with demand. Long lines and empty pumps made things more stressful for people who are planning to hunker down or evacuate. Florida Highway Patrol is helping bring in gas now before Milton hits land. Life-threatening winds are expected to hurl debris that's still left over from Hurricane Helene. Storm surge warnings are in place up and down Florida's west coast. The president, Florida governor, FEMA, state and local officials all say that they're talking to each other as the preparations continue. Those back-to-back hurricanes are also taxing organizations around the nation that help victims and first responders.
And that includes 2 search and rescue teams from Kansas deployed at the same time for the first time in the state's history. Fox 4's Dave DeMarco joins us now with the advice Team 1 gave to Team 2 as they cross paths.
And they warned they would go through likely going to be intense and are asking people in evacuation zones who can leave to do so.
You've seen the damage left behind from a Category 4 hurricane that came ashore in Florida and left a path of destruction across the southeast, killing more than 200 people in 6 states. But only people like Olathe Battalion Chief and Kansas Task Force 1 leader Paul Kraft know what it's like to find a victim underneath the rubble of a home that's been destroyed, or a homeowner waiting for rescue as their boats arrive with the water still rising and be able to transport them to safety.
They're scared. Their homes are flooded. A lot of people are literally standing on their kitchen tables with their heads above the water line just to stay alive, holding on to loved ones.
After Helene created a storm surge, they worked near Tampa, then north of Asheville, North Carolina, where mountains of mud came rushing into homes amidst historic rainfall.
But it's very rewarding to help. And then when they find out that a team from Kansas, that we're a team from Kansas, it's just they light up and it's like, wow, you came all the way down here to help us out.
Sunday, Kansas Task Force 2 was deployed with 19 members, including Shawnee firefighters and Johnson County MedAct.
It's really important because the states a lot of times don't have the resources to take care of the big disasters, so the states use the Emergency Management Assistance Compact to help each other out.
Kraft says while the devastation was worse of what he saw in North Carolina, he's worried about what's left behind from Helene in Florida and could be sent flying or rushing down streets that turn into rivers.
So now refrigerators are all over the streets, washing machines, clothing, tables.
As that second team assembles in Florida, he warns it will likely be at least several hours, if not longer, until rescue teams can get to them after the hurricane passes.
I hope that they realize that it's not worth staying there, and they realize how hard it is for rescue crews to get there.
And you may remember this from storms like Hurricane Katrina, for example. Since cell service is often not available and it's hard to know who stayed and who evacuated, later this week that Kansas team is likely going to be going door to door, possibly by boat, marking X's on houses that have been checked so the work doesn't have to be repeated and all survivors are found.
We sure appreciate what you're doing. Thank you, Dave.